Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. So let's see what's been going on in Elite and on the channel in the last week. First of all, Frontier has given us a little bit of information regarding how instancing is going to work in Odyssey when you're playing with Horizon and Odyssey commanders at the same time. Now, obviously, if people are flying together in space, things are going to work exactly as they do today. Regardless of whether you have Odyssey or not, you are going to be able to wing up with your friends, fly together, and go and do all the activities that you're used to. However, as soon as you move planetside, things are going to change a little bit, because as soon as you are in a situation where a person could potentially go out on foot, even though they're not going to do it, even though if they just could do it, Horizon and Odyssey commanders will never be put in the same instance. So that means if you're flying together with one of your friends, and let's say your friend doesn't have Odyssey, but you do, you're flying together up in space, all is fine, and you go to a planet where you can go out of your ship and walk around on foot. The moment you guys drop out of glide, you're going to be split up into two instances, and you won't be able to see each other anymore. And that means for activities like surface racing, or in SRVs, or any activities like that, you are not going to be able to have a mix of Horizon and Odyssey players playing together. Now, the reason for this is due to the relatively low parental guidance rating of Elite Dangerous Horizons. I think it's PEGI 7 only, because it's just spaceships blowing up. However, as soon as you move into Odyssey and people can be on foot, you could potentially begin to see people being shot, people shooting at each other, and that raises the parental guidance level up to 13. So even if you have a commander that only has Horizon, if they're going to be able to be instanced on a planet together with an Odyssey player, they are going to be able to sit there, look out the window, and potentially see human and human combat. And therefore, Frontier would then have to increase the PEGI rating of Horizons if they wanted to instance them together. And I'm pretty sure that Frontier is not doing this, mainly because it just opens up for a lot of bad press to increase a PEGI rating after people have bought the game. You could easily imagine the situation where somebody bought the game and they wanted to play together with one of their kids, and all of a sudden they increase the PEGI rating, and then you're like, now I don't, maybe they as a parent don't want to play the game with their kid anymore because it's got a different parental guidance rating than the game had before. It's going to be very difficult for Frontier to go and check up for what reason people bought the game. So that could potentially mean that everybody who has picked up Elite at some point, bought Horizons, and now decides that they don't want to play anymore, they burned out the game or whatever. If it suddenly becomes public knowledge that you could just send a Frontier and say, oh, I wanted to play this with my kid, I can't do that anymore, and then they can just get their money back. It just opens up for a lot of people also misusing that system to basically pull some money back for a game that they have actually played and could have been played for thousands of hours. But now that we're talking about Odyssey information, Frontier has said that there's going to be a new dev diary. I think the topic has not been announced yet, but it will be coming, although they're planning it to be released early March. So that should be in just a few weeks. Exactly when is not known, and they may have to postpone it. There seems to still be a few uncertainties around it, so they wouldn't commit to a specific day. But they're currently aiming for early March. But I'm looking forward to begin to get the information flow on Odyssey back up. It has been a little slow lately. I feel like especially I'm sitting here and I'm talking about the fact that there is a trailer coming, and the fact that makes it as news. The information flow has been a little slow after New Year's, pretty much all of January, most of February as well. It's been a little on the slow side, and I hope that it's going to pick up, and at the very least we're going to have a lot of stuff to share as soon as we get access to the alpha test, as we can begin to look at actual gameplay. We can begin to test all the questions we have ourselves, how things work. There's currently some problems running around over on PlayStation. There's been a lot of PlayStation commanders who seem to have lost access to all Horizon content. I mean, they can't go planetside. The game basically tells them that they don't own Horizons, which is really weird because everybody should own Horizon right now. as it has been included or been merged into standard game. So if you just own the standard game, you will now also have Horizon. So that is really weird, and it is a bug. Frontier is working on a fix. I think they had a fix just around the corner. I'm actually not sure if it's already been deployed by the time this video goes live or if it is still in the works. But at the very least, they have a forum thread. I'll be sure to link it in the description below, where if you have this issue, you can go and report it, so they can look into the logs, and they hopefully can help them identify the issues. Now, I've been busy the last couple of days. I've been flying over 1,100 commanders from the bubble out to Colonia and around the Colonia area. The exact number is actually 1,118. Those numbers come directly from Frontier. Those were the number of people docked at my carrier, the D28 NorthStar, as we departed from the bubble. So definitely a lot of people have taken the opportunity to come with me out to Colonia, either to unlock engineers or maybe just to go out for a little exploration excursion. And people have been having a wonderful time. We have a Discord chat set up, and people have been really having a blast in there, even doing just the normal, where we've just spent 8 hours straight just jumping from system to system to system. People have been sitting in there, they've been going out in between jumps, scan the local systems, there's small races on who can go out if there are planets that have never been mapped, which is apparently quite common. And people go out, see if they can get the scans, and who can come back to the carrier to sell first to get their names on those planets. So there's been some little competitions going on, and in general, it's just been a ton of fun. We went to the Planet of Death, which resulted in a ton of cool screenshots and a ton of cool video clips. And actually, as I'm recording this, I have the NorthStar parked in orbit around the 11G planet, and people are bumming around down there on the surface and, blowing up their ships left and right, it seems like. But at least they're having a blast, and I also took a quick trip down there myself, did a little bit of speedballing, and then ended up crashing my ship into the surface and got a free trip back to the fleet carrier. But regardless, it's been an absolute wonderful trip, and I'm going to record this Sunday evening and Monday morning, so this will be actually after this video is going live. I will begin the trip back towards the bubble, and we're going to be returning back on Tuesday afternoon in game time. Now, if you want to follow along on the return trip back to the bubble on Monday and Tuesday, but you're not going to be able to be in-game, my moderator, Dongle Aura, is actually going to be live streaming the whole trip, and from there you can also see exactly what system we're in, when's the next lockdown going to happen. So even if you are in-game, I recommend having that live stream running, because then you will always have a countdown that will show you when the next lockdown is, and if we have any delays, it will also be shown there. So I'll link his Twitch channel in the description as well, so you go and you can follow our return trip from Colonia back to the bubble. A lot of people have also asked me if I'm going to do more trips like this in the future, and I definitely am. I do have other destinations in mind. I haven't figured out if I want to do smaller trips, or if I want to do a longer trip next time, maybe a full week where we go from one stop to one stop to one stop over a whole week. Yes, there will be more trips. Will they be to Colonia? Most likely not. Now, I have one other quick topic I want to talk to you about. That is that last week I posted a video on comparing Dav's Hope to Hot Jupiter. And I was reading the comment section under the video, and something quite interesting actually happened. There was someone who posted that, "Oh, thanks for doing the comparison. I'm glad you confirmed for me that Dav's Hope was the best." I can't remember if Dav's Hope or Hot Jupiter. This is not really important here. The funny thing is that then someone replied in the comment section, "Well, didn't you watch the same video? He clearly said that Hot Jupiter, the opposite at least, was the best." And I think it's funny because I never really specifically said which one was best, but this just showed me that what I managed to do in this one was actually, I got it spot on, getting this as objective as I possibly could. Because you have two people watching the same video being presented with the same information, but they draw two different conclusions. And that's of course because I'm presenting pros and cons in the videos, and some of them may value some of the pros or some of the cons higher than the other person, which is why they're coming to different conclusions. I just thought it was really funny to see that interaction with two people completely independent of each other, watching the same video, drawing two polar opposite conclusions from the same information. So finally, the live stream tomorrow, it's probably going to be something very casual, because at the time when we arrive, it will be 3-4 hours after we arrive back from the Colonia trip. So the NorthStar will just have parked in LP by the time I go live tomorrow. So I probably want to do something very casual. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I was considering if I should go and do some mining, but if I want to do mining, I kind of want to move the fleet carrier to the mining spot. But the problem is I kind of have to keep the fleet carrier in LP so people have a chance to get their ship offloaded. But as always, I will be live streaming at 8 o'clock in-game time, and it will be both here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. I hope I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.